All right, let's talk about the single biggest supply event in Plasm's history, the Day 78 token unlock. Now, there is a massive, massive threat on the horizon, but there's also a really powerful, kind of hidden defense system built in. We're going to analyze both sides of the coin and give you the final verdict on what this all means. Let's get right into it.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to really understand the sheer scale of this Day 78 cliff. Then we'll look at a coverage ratio that honestly looks terrifying on paper, and I'll explain why that number is so misleading. After that, we'll uncover the protocol's real defense, run a stress test simulation, map out the recovery, and then deliver our final verdict.
You know the clock is ticking. We are just 20 days away from Day 78. This is the moment when all the positions from the very first week of the protocol's launch mature and unlock, all at the same time. This is not some gradual release, it's a straight-up cliff. And the scale here is just immense. We are looking at almost 2.3 million Plazm tokens becoming sellable at once. At today's prices, that's a staggering $4.73 million of potential sell pressure hitting the market in a single day. And this chart, wow, this chart really puts that number into brutal perspective. The Day 78 release is 459 times larger than the entire liquid supply that's available for trading today. This is a supply shock of, well, historic proportions for this protocol. Okay, so let's take a closer look at that supply pressure, because as you're about to see, this isn't just about one single day. It's a bit more complicated than that. The pressure is actually clustered together. Yeah, Day 78 is the massive peak, no doubt about it. But you can see some pretty significant unlocks on the days right before and after it. Day 79 in particular is releasing over 500,000 Plazm, so we're really looking at a multi-day gauntlet here.
And if we zoom out even further, after that initial shockwave, there's this period of sustained pressure that lasts all the way until Day 135. But, and this is a big but, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. On Day 136, the storm just ends. The releases drop completely to zero.
So, the big question is, how on earth does the protocol defend against a $4.73 million threat? This is where we get to the core of this whole thing, and we start with a number that frankly looks really, really bad. First, let's be super precise about the defense funds. The protocol has about $84,000 in its active pools, plus another $43,000 in claimed profits. And to be clear, that's real harvested yield. That gives us a total war chest of just under $127,000 ready to go.
Now, this is a crucial point that a lot of people miss. They see the vault's $348,000 and think, oh, that's part of the defense. It's not. The vault is the working capital. It's the engine that generates the yield. Those claimed profits are the fuel it produces. You don't spend the engine itself, right?
So when you put that $126,900 in total deployable ammo up against the $4.73 million cliff, you get a coverage ratio of just 2.7%. On the surface, this looks like bringing a water pistol to a wildfire. It looks completely indefensible.
But here's the thing, it's not indefensible. That 2.7% number is totally misleading because it fails to account for the protocol's most powerful and its primary defense mechanism. The secret weapon is the bonding curve. See, the whole system is intentionally designed so that anyone trying to sell a large amount at once faces absolutely catastrophic price slippage. To put it simply, the more you try to sell, the worse the price gets for you, and it gets worse exponentially. It makes dumping your bags incredibly inefficient. It punishes the seller directly.
And this quote right here just brilliantly illustrates the core philosophy of this whole thing. Panic sellers don't crash the protocol, they feed it. The protocol uses panic as fuel. It's designed to turn the force of a seller completely against them. So let's not just talk theory. Let's put it to the test. A simulation was run to see what actually happens if someone tries to dump 2.5 million Plazm tokens all at once, trying to just rip millions in value out of the system. The result is pretty shocking. The attacker dumps a position worth millions of dollars, but because of that bonding curve's brutal slippage, they only managed to extract about $16,400. They completely destroy their own exit, just like the system was designed to make them do. And check this out. Here's what happens to the tokens they tried to sell. An incredible 99.76% of the dumped Plazm gets permanently burned. Just gone from circulation forever. The panic sale becomes a massive, healthy, deflationary event for the protocol. It literally turns into a win. So, we've seen how the protocol defends itself by turning an attack into fuel. But what about afterwards? How does it recover the price after a shock like that? Well, the plan for that is just as methodical as the defense. The buy and burn and buy and build mechanisms don't just fire all their ammo at once. No, they create steady, sustained buying pressure day after day. So even after a severe crash, the projected timeline to get back to a healthy price is measured in days, not weeks or months. And on top of all that, there is an ultimate safety net. In a worst-case scenario, there is a mathematical floor price of around $1.25. The price literally cannot fall below that as long as the pools are active. And what's more, that floor actually rises steadily every single day, providing a rising foundation for the price. Okay, let's bring all of this together for the final verdict. We've seen the threat, we've seen the misleading defense number, the real defense, the simulation, and the recovery plan. So what does it all mean when you put it together? Well, it all comes down to this four-part defense framework. First, it punishes large sellers with slippage. Then, it converts their panic into massive token burns. After that, it methodically rebuilds the price with sustained buy pressure. And finally, it backstops the entire system with a rising mathematical floor price. The verdict is that this system isn't just resilient, it's anti-fragile. What does that mean? It means it's designed to actually get stronger from stress. Attacks and panic don't just fail to kill it, they actually make it healthier in the long run by permanently reducing the total token supply. So as we get closer to day 78, holders should definitely prepare for some volatility, but the data suggests this volatility actually works in the protocol's favor. The real question isn't about survival, it's about how much leaner and stronger the entire protocol will be when this storm finally clears on day 136. And as always, please remember this is not financial advice, just a deep dive into the mechanics at play.